Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. And as always, your host Papatello bringing you coverage and news and all that good stuff from above. I hope everybody's having a blessed day, and I'm looking forward to making content today. Basically, I was up at 5 in the morning last night, and I was pretty exhausted, to be honest, because I was like, you know what, should I shoot a video now, or should I shoot a video today? I just passed out. I'm not gonna lie to you. The minute I hit that bed, I went lights out, and I was just, it was a wrap, and I got some pretty damn good sleep, so to say, but I'm still pretty tired, a little after groggy wake-up sesh right now. Maybe another nap is due. Who knows, though? But I'm chilling, and I wanted to make this video for you guys so you can enjoy it. However, though, to get to the topic at hand, right? What we want to talk about today is a couple things that I've noticed from yesterday, a response from the developers to my tweet, Wowhead talking about 40-man raiding, and a couple other things with some item drops from Prince Thunderaan, with the loot system that he has in place, and also the unique Shadowflame weapons that are going to be coming with BWL, and as well as the Horn of Lordaeron, which we're going to talk about right now in terms of, how to get this, horn for paladins. Now, do mind, I'm a little sick, I think, a little bit with my nose right now, so forgive me. Maybe I have a little cold coming up. Knock on wood. You never know. However, though, let's pray that everything's okay. But besides that, when it comes to getting the Horn of Lordaeron, all you gotta do is talk to Catherine. Now, let me let you know something right now. Catherine is in Stormwind at the Cathedral for the Paladins. This is a cat and mouse quest. It is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what I mean by that, she's gonna send you all the way to the Western Plaguelands to Uther's Tomb to talk to Aeonis. And he is basically gonna give you the quest to go back to Cat. Cat's then going to tell you to go to the canal area in the district to talk to Julian, and Julian is then going to give you a quest to go back to Catherine, and she is then going to tell you to find the lead within Stormwind at one of the taverns. The tavern you have to go to is the Slaughtered Lamb, where the Warlocks area is, and there's going to be basically this mysterious person there named Ada. Ada is then going to tell you, we can't speak here, we're going to have to go to the Western Plaguelands to further talk. She's going to be in the Scholomance area by, Care Barrow, if I believe I said that correctly. And there's a house over there before you go to Scholomance to the entrance. You're going to go to the right, one of these little houses. She's going to be in there with a dude named Gregory, this undead dude. And he's going to give you the Horn of Lordaeron. And voila, you got your rune. If you also need a weak aura to keep track of this rune, but it's not really a rune, it's just an ability, just a spell that they just flat out gave us now because they took it away from being a rune. I'll put the weak aura in the description below so you can keep track of it because it's only a 2-minute buff, so you might forget it every time you look at the top right of the screen. So that weak aura will definitely help you out. Now, besides that though, in other news, Aggrend responded to a comment that I made on Twitter, which we're going to switch over so we can read this real quickly as well. And basically, Aggrend said to my response, which I'm really happy that he responded because, I don't really ask much from the devs. I just would like to see clarification for you guys as the community because I think that's what's best no matter what. And I basically said to Aggrend, my brother, I want to ask your point on this and curious on your thoughts if you wish to share. I heard someone last night say it would be cool if reels were in raids, and saw another person say the same thing. What's your thought on MC, perhaps? Aggrend responded, I really do hate that so many of my replies are just saying no to things, but in the interest of explaining reasoning, I'll bite on this one again. It feels really important to us that the primary method of getting reels be dungeons. We've had years of WoW expansions that have essentially cut out dungeons as content by moving currencies that you get there to raids. That just isn't what we're looking to do here. That said, we agree the older single boss raids could use a bit of incentive, so you'll be able to get reels from Azurgos, Khazak, and Onyxia in Phase 5. Those 3 bosses are a decent fit for reels, but we want to be very measured in how many of these we give out from non-dungeon content. And I'd not expect to see them on a full multi-boss raid like MC, even when it becomes older content. It's really just not what the system's for. Never say never, but we feel pretty strongly about keeping these focused on dungeons right now. So, that's what their, stand is when it comes to reels within, single world bosses. I think this is nice because at the end of the day, some people don't want to just sit there and spam the same dungeon over and over and over again every day, every night. It's pretty exhausting and it gets pretty tiring and boring after some point. So having the ability just to do some world bosses just to get reels, and if it's a good amount of them, people might just do that instead, and now it gives them an alternative. So I think it's a W change from the dev team at SOD. Really good change. I really like that, and I'm happy that they're implementing that for Phase 5 overall. So, pretty happy with that. And also, Wowhead covered this article as well. So, Wowhead, I'm on to you guys. It's Papatello over here. Hello, J Tello. Asking the questions, baby. Just letting you know. Much love to you. But I kid with them. Wowhead's great, and I appreciate, the coverage always on every topic at hand. However, though, When it comes to Molten Core, it seems that 40-player raids are now happening within Season of Discovery. I'm really happy that they're, upping the player count, because guilds will no longer have, bench players or people that they can't involve within the raid because they're caught at a limit. You can now add as many players as you want at this point. Up to 40 is great, and it gives an opportunity to even carry players that are struggling or to improve to just go through the Molten Core experience and, get rid of Ragnaros, right, and get all the loot in there that you need. So I think this is really nice. 40-player MC was always the thing back in the day. That was always the way to do it, and I'm just really happy that people are going to have the opportunity to do that within Season of Discovery. Really nice touch, and, nothing really too much to say about that. As far as the unique Shadowflame weapons coming to Season of Discovery in Phase 5. Now, basically, this is the same thing that happened with the Molten weapons, and this is going to happen now with the Shadowflame weapons, which can be earned through the trials of the Dragonflights in the Blackwing Lair. So if you complete the trials and you get certain weapons, you will be able to access the variations of these weapons through the trials that basically give a cosmetic effect. There's no difference in, terms of, equip effects or abilities or damage. The same thing with the Molten Core stuff, and you can have access to a lot of these really cool cosmetically looking weapons when it comes to Season of Discovery. And finally, another thing is that Prince Thunderaan will drop tier 2 belt tokens in Season of Discovery Phase 5 for all the classes. So every single class will have the ability to get a tier piece from the Lord himself, right? And it's really cool to see that another option of getting tier set is from another boss in the world. And I think this is going to be a nice way to people get more access to their 2-set bonus. But obviously you can get it from the rune vendor, and then you can get your belt from this boss as well. So really nice touch from Blizzard, just to give the options to people to just have more flexibility of getting their tier 2 set overall. And another thing that I want to talk to you guys about in particular is this article here. Now, there is an article that Wowhead put up, which I actually have to go to it real quick because for some reason on my end it is closed off, but I want to make sure that I get it perfect for you guys. And I'm looking at it here, and there's a lot of stuff that they showcase on this article, which is basically the Blackwing Lair challenge mode. So I'll show you guys this right here because I've been kind of changing up how I do things a little bit. But this is like the Blackwing Lair challenge mode article, of which they're showcasing in Season of Discovery. And basically, they showcase something here at the very bottom, which we're going to scroll down. There's a lot of changes going on with paladins and everything of that nature, but I'm not really too much concerned on that. What we're more focused on here is the stuff that they're saying with player versus player. And based on the honor gains are going to start doubling in, Phase 5 of Season of Discovery, which is really good. They've also made several adjustments to the reward structure of Arathi Basin and Warsong Gulch to incentivize players to engage within these battlegrounds. And losing a match of Warsong Gulch or Arathi Basin now awards 2 marks of honor, up from 1 mark in Season of Discovery. Well, to be honest with you, I'm happy about that, because the Alliance gets their ass kicked a lot of times. So at least we're getting 2 marks this time. Shout out to the Horde, by the way. Much love to you. And besides that, the 60 version of these quests, Fight for Warsong Gulch, the Battle for Warsong Gulch, Conquering Arathi Basin, and Claiming Arathi Basin, now awards 7,500 honor per turn-in, so I think that's really good. The separation now between small pre-made groups have been removed, so from the developer notes, with the increase in honor rewards as well as an increase in rewards for losing a match of Warsong Gulch and AB, we're removing the queue separation implemented in the earlier phases of SOD that separated pre-made groups with, basically groups of more than 5 members and small groups of 1 to 5 members. This means there's a single queue and players can be matched with each other with no restriction regardless of being solo and a small group or full pre-made. We think it's important for the health of these 2 battlegrounds, but we make further adjustments in the system for future updates. I'm happy with that. I have no problems with that overall. The one thing that I am curious about is the PvP damage reduction, because I played a lot of Alterac Valley last night. And players now take 30% reduced physical damage from other players, and pets was 20%, and 40% reduced magic damage from other players, and pets was 30%. Now, I tested this last night for a long time. And I must say, also, last night, by the way, was kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. People were genuinely playing Alterac Valley and just PvPing. Like, people were not, like, worrying too much about getting the mission done, just Drek or Keck, right? I know that's the fast way. We all have to just, basically get in there, get out. You kill Van or you kill Drek, right? Whatever. But people were PvPing, and it was fun. And we were testing things out. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. The PvP damage reduction in BGs is very noticeable. On top of classes that have a lot of health, on top of classes that are more tankier classes, that's the one thing that I was like noticing. I'm like, damn, it's taking some time to kill people. Now, don't get me wrong. In open world, you could still burst somebody down. You could burst someone down in a global cooldown for sure. But in BGs, this physical and magic damage reduction is quite noticeable. I think the one class that benefits the most from this is more tankier classes, especially if they're backed by a healer. It feels like it takes a long time to take them down, and it's really, really tough. Now, in a way, maybe that's what they're intended to do, and that's how they want classes to feel within BGs, but I do think the reduction is maybe a little too much. Maybe by the smidgeness of a percent. You know, I'm just a smudge, a small little smudge. Maybe we test around 25 and 35, you know, damage reduction. So we do 25 physical and 35 reduced magic, or maybe 20 physical and 30 reduced magic, just to try around with this. I think this number is going to have to, you know, vary. It's going to have to change because, for example, right, as a paladin who plays deep ret only and ret reckoning, I don't really like to play holy shocking. I don't like to play prot. Those are just not my styles of playing the paladin. I know other people enjoy that. More power to you. But when it comes to, you know, PvP, I like playing those two style of specs. And for reckoning, when you build a rec counter after getting, you know, crit a couple times, right, you basically can unleash what we call a rec bomb onto somebody, and it would do a lot of damage. You know, normally you would just like basically almost one shot them, and it's a really satisfying feeling. In the BGs now, that really doesn't happen as much now. It's from what I've at least noticed, it is not really having the same effect, and people are really eating it now. And the same thing even happens with like the double judge. You know, if you put somebody into a Hodge and try to double judge them with the 6-piece set, that doesn't really happen as well with a Seal Twist. Doesn't really, you see the burst, but you don't get them down all the way. They definitely survive it, and they have a chance to live. Now, maybe that's a good thing. You know, no hate on that. But I'm very curious to see if they're going to play around with the percentage-based ratios, because I'm just letting you know my experience of like what I do best, right, in PvP is obviously try to, you know, pop somebody off with wings or get a good sealed twist or get a good wreck bomb. Those are like kind of the three things that I play around with as a paladin, and, you know, we go from there. But I'm really curious to see what they do in the future, in the next you know, couple days or a week or so. Who knows if people like it or people complain? I don't know. But overall, I think maybe just a smudge of a percent needs to be changed on that DR aura, so we can find a nice little medium of where things are going to go. And maybe they're only doing this because when we get to tier 2, that power is going to scale even higher, and maybe the damage is going to, you know, equivalate to the point where it's going to past this threshold, so to say, where now the threshold is still there, but now you're more powerful, that the threshold is now desperately needed because you're doing too much damage. So it all really depends, right? It really just depends on next phase more than anything. So Blizzard might have a mind on this and why they're leaving it like this, because they know this phase coming up, the power scale is going higher. So maybe they're right, you know. I'll just leave it at that, but let me know your comments below on how you feel about this, you know, damage reduction aura right now. Do you think it's just like kind of like a lazy change? Do you think this is not a change Blizzard should do? Do you want it removed? Do you like the change? Do you think they should keep this style of PvP change for the future? Let me know your comments below, because this is just me experimenting with stuff, right? And that's all I really got to say about that. Now, overall, I think that's all the topics at hand that I covered. I think we basically went over everything. That's about it. So much love to you, amigos. Thank you for watching the video. And as always, you know, keep on keeping on. You know, a little iced tea action. It's spiked with vodka, indeed. And a little Poland Spring. Don't think we forgot about the Hydration Nation. Thank you for always enjoying the videos. And I hope you have a damn good one. Keep on keeping on, shine on, all that good stuff, amigos. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. From the rivers of the Canal District, just scooped into a bottle and then choke me while you're trying to you-know-what on me, baby. Settle down. Not that type of video.